if I had one thing I could teach you, I would teach you how to work with a microcosmic orbit. The microcosmic orbit, our body has 7 different chakras. One in the crown, one at the third eye, one at the throat, one at the heart, one at the solar plexus, one at the navel point, one at the sexual center. That's about your pubic bone. And then, if I took a long skewer and I was going to make a shish kebab, and I stuck it through the top of your head, where it would come out of is it would come out of the perineum. So those are important parts, because we have like a diaphragm at our bottom here, we have a diaphragm here, and then we have an upper diaphragm. So those 3 diaphragms, we're always trying to get those in balance so we can balance it. They call it the upper, the middle, and the lower Tantian in Chinese medicine. So we're always trying to balance those energies, but those energies are balanced through the chakras. When I work on someone, I'm working on your physical, but a lot of it is energetic. It's working with the meridians and the chakras, and then the spiritual body above that. So sometimes when we get disturbed, we get hit, but we don't get hit physically. We get hit emotionally. Somebody does something to us, and it's like deep-seated grief. We feel rejected, or we feel overly, what is it called? When you're smothered with love. It's too much, or it's too little. And what it does, it disturbs our energetic pattern. And when our energetic pattern gets disturbed, then it ends up in the physical, and then we start to have some form of dis-ease. Something doesn't feel right. We're just not happy. We feel trapped in the body. It's not so much about the body, but it's more about the energetic fields, and then how we balance those energetic fields. So when we're working with energy, the easiest way to work with energy is through the breathing technique. Because the breath, if I take away your food, you could still live for a month or 2. If I took away your water, you could still live for a week or 2. But if I took away your breath, you could only live for minutes. So the thing that gets our attention the quickest is the breathing. No air, we die. So you can only do that for a few minutes. So it's the easiest way to get your own attention. So as you learn these breathing techniques and breathe, then you get stronger. The whole thing is lungs and legs. As we get older, our legs get weak and the lungs get weak. So as long as you can strengthen lungs and legs, you're able to keep younger longer, more vitality. You don't age as quickly. When I taught you the Hindu squats, remember that you come to the beach, I'll teach you those. So the breathing technique, when you're breathing, usually when we breathe, we learn yoga breathing. We're breathing from the diaphragm and we're lowering the breath. And a lot of times the breath comes from the bottom and it goes up. We're using an orbit meditation where we're breathing in like it's coming into the head. The breath goes down the front and then it goes around the crotch and up the back. So we're starting to breathe into the crown chakra. We're breathing into the third eye point. We're breathing into the throat, breathing into the heart, the solar plexus, the navel point, the sex center, and that's all coming down into the perineum. When we exhale, it goes up the back. So it's like... So we're always trying to... That's what we're doing. We're pulling the energy in, and we're connecting this chakra with this chakra, with this chakra, with this. So instead of things going, this is open, our heart's open, and we're really loving, but this is closed, so our psychic ability is closed, or this is way open, and we're generous, and we're giving, but everything's closed. So everything's closed in the heart. So we have all this open. We're able to accumulate riches, but the heart's closed so that we become greedy. So the idea is, if we can balance out all the chakras, you balance out your life. You can balance yourself out physically energetically and spiritually. And you can do it by doing this meditation. What it does is, as you do this, you're going to build your spiritual digestive system. So if you give me love, I'm able to take that in, use that. It feels so good, I get love. If you give me hate or some type of anger, instead of me getting all whacked out, I'm able to take that energy in, grind that up, and use that. So whatever you give me, I'm able to use. Whatever comes in. You know, you give me some type of weird energy, and I'm able to grind it up and use it. It's like fertilizer. The negative energy, the stuff that we don't want, is fertilizer. We would say that's shit. We don't want shit. But if you're growing a garden, you want fertilizer because it helps the plants grow. Everything is for your growth. So we want to do things so we grow spiritually. We want to grow mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We want to get stronger and bigger so we can always take in love. Oh, I love you too. That's delicious. But the heavy things start to come in. You piss me off, and it's like, you know, all of a sudden I lose my spiritual energy. It's like premature ejaculation. You blow the energy. You know, it comes in, and it's like now I'm all upset, and I explode. And what I do is, the explosion doesn't hurt the other person. The explosion is where you lose your energy. You lose everything you built. You lose all the good stuff. So once you start doing this meditation, you start to build your spiritual digestive system so nobody can come in and steal your energy. When something happens that upsets you, you blow your own juice. Yeah, that's what you do. You blow your own juice. So as you do this, you're going to be able to take all that energy that you have, and instead of, and then it's gone, you're able to take that and keep that, and all of a sudden, you keep getting stronger. It's easy to do. Here's how it works. You take your tongue, put it on the roof of your mouth. The reason why, we've got two meridians, central and governing meridian. One starts at the perineum and it goes up to here. Right? It's actually right under the lip. And then the other one starts at the tailbone. It goes up over the head and it's here, right there. Those are acupuncture points. When you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, what you do is you connect the two meridians. When they're not connected, you get like a spark, like in a car. The spark plug goes, right? And that's how it ignites the fuel. If you put it together, there's no spark. But the energy doesn't jolt you. The energy goes through smoothly. So the energy, just by placing your tongue on the roof of your mouth, you're able to like quiet things down inside. Ah, cool, huh? And when you're doing a meditation, you want to pull yourself up, right, to the heavens. So when you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and you're pushing up, all of a sudden you're lifting the top of the head. It's like this part of the skull actually goes up. So that's what you want. You want to connect to the heavens, and at the same time, you want to keep the energy, your attention, about 4 fingers under the navel point, the lower Dantian. So you're connecting with heaven and earth. So you're able to do this. So you keep earth energy, heaven energy. You have the two pulling. So you've got like that sort of a tension in there, but you want that tension because you're causing a spiritual tension so you can grow more. Okay. Now, when you inhale, you're going to inhale and imagine the breath that's coming into the third eye. It's going down to the throat, down to the heart, down to the solar plexus, down to the navel, down to the sex energy, and then you exhale and the breath goes up the back. Okay, so we're going to do it real simple. Close your eyes. Oh, wait, open your eyes. Put your fingers together. There's a lot of things that we want to do when we're doing this type of work. We want to make sure that all the energy is connected so everything runs through it smoothly and slowly, because you want to be able to take on as much energy without blowing yourself up. Like if we took our system and we plugged it into the wall, we're fine, we're okay with the wall. But if we plug it into a 220, what's going to happen is we're going, too much energy, I can't stand this, I got to get out of here. We're freaking out, too much juice. Until we can tune our system in, that we can plug into the 220 and we go, lots of energy, I like this. That's what we want. We want to be able to take in as much energy as we can without blowing the system out. Put your fingers together, it makes everything go smoothly. This is the lung meridian, this is the large intestine's meridian. Connect these. So you're connecting the metal element, you're letting it, it's called gamma ling. Putting the tongue in the roof of the mouth, okay, bringing your attention to the navel point. Now with the tongue, push on the roof of the mouth and just feel the top of the head sort of moving up a little. Let your eyes close. And you're going to breathe in, inhaling down the front. Let the breath go around the crotch and exhaling up the back. Do that again, softly, breathing down the front, exhaling up the back. Softly, breathing down the front, exhaling up the back. Okay, let's add some color to it. The breath going down the front is white. The breath going up the back is red. Inhaling down the front, white cooling energy. Exhaling up the back, warming red energy. Very softly down the front and up the back. Okay, open your eyes for a moment. How does that feel, everybody? Is that okay? Can you feel the cooling going down the front?
Calm.
Yeah, it's calming, the coolness. And then you take that energy and you shoot it up the back, and that's the red energy. So the heat goes up the back, goes out into the heavens, and then cool, soothing energy comes down the front. So what you're doing is you're starting to create like a little string that connects all of the chakras together. So you're starting to balance everything out. So as you do it for a while, what will happen is the little string turns to a great waterfall of energy. And it keeps getting bigger, and before you know it, you can take on more energy. So when you do this, like let's say you go out near the ocean, and it's a beautiful day, and the sun's coming up in the waves, and you go, oh, this is so beautiful. So you want to be able to sometimes take that energy in, where you can't go out and drink the ocean. You want to take it in, and you're going, oh, it's so luscious. So how do you take that in? So you take it in through the breath when you're breathing. You look at it and you just let all of that energy flow inside of you. Like I looked at the ocean this morning and it looked so huge, and there were waves and wind and sun, and it was just so beautiful. I wanted to take it in, so I took a picture with my little camera and I got a little picture. It didn't give me all of that. It's impossible to take in a camera. But you can take it in your mind. You can say, whoa. And you just bring all that in, right? And then I saw these, there were 6 pelicans. And they were flying in the wind. You know, they were up there and they were, oh. And I went, whoa, that's so beautiful. And I sort of breathed down the front and up the back. And I took in the energy of the birds. And then I could see those vultures, and they were up high, and they were sort of doing this with their wings, with their feathers and the tips, and they were like, oh, and just sailing. It was so beautiful this morning. They had all these birds doing the things, and the seagulls were doing the things, and the sun was shining, the waves were big, and I went, this is so yummy. I want to bite it. So you can't bite it, but the way you can take it in is breathing down the front and up the back. So you start to take it in. If you got a new puppy, right? So you see the new puppy, you go, booty boo, new puppy, right? Also, lots of energy. You know, the puppy comes in, the puppy's glad to see you. That's Andrew saying goodbye. He was going to call me on all that stuff. So, we want to be able to take in as much luscious, beautiful, sunny, wonderful energy in the beginning until the spiritual digestive system gets strong. Once it gets strong, then you can start taking on grosser energies. You don't really want to take on the war in Somalia. You know, that's a lot. Some time ago, I asked one of my teachers to open my heart chakra. And of course, he said, no, no, no. And I said, oh, please open my heart chakra. I want to feel the love of the planet and this, that's what I want. And he blew me off again. And then I asked him again. So I was like bugging him, you know. Come on, man, open my heart chakra. You know how to do it. I want to have my heart open. I want to feel the beautiful energy of the planet. I want to feel the love. And I was really into it. It must have been Valentine's Day. I wanted to feel all that love. So he told me, you know, he just blew me off. So one of his kids got sick. And he had to take his youngest daughter to the hospital. And nobody was there, so he asked me if I would watch the oldest daughter, who was maybe 4. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I'm good with kids, so I like to play with kids. So, you know, we went for an ice cream, we did this, whatever we did, we played. And he got back and he said, oh, I'm so thankful. I don't know what we would have done without you. You know, the kid was sick and we went to the hospital. If there's anything I can ever do for you, just ask me. I said, oh, there is one thing. What is it? I said, oh, I want to have my heart chakra open. So he was like in a box. So he said, okay, we'll do a ceremony. So the next day, came to his house and we were doing this meditation. And, you know, bam, it blasted me with energy. And my heart opened. I could see all the love of the planet and all the beauty and all the flowers. And it was so wonderful. Then I started to see all the starving children and all the poverty and all the death and all the sickness. And I cried for like 3 or 4 days. I just sobbed. I mean, just like, I mean, really, I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed because when you open your heart, you open to everything. You open to the poverty and the sickness and the beauty and the love. And I mean, it really impacted me. You know, it really made a difference in my life. I wouldn't ask to have my heart open again like that. It was really an experience of 3 or 4 days of crying. So in the beginning, you really don't want to tune into all the hardships on the planet. You want to tune into all the beautiful things. What do you see if you go to an art museum and you want to lick the Michelangelo and you can't touch it because they're going to lock you out, right? But you can do the breathing technique and you can breathe